Hey, hey, I'm back. And already we have crappy bots. Awesome, awesome. Uh, Anywho, how's everyone been? Hope it's good. Sorry if we haven't gotten around to posting. Well, I say we, me, I'm the jerk. I haven't gotten around to posting the video of all of us playing D&D together live in person. Eh, there's a lot of editing that has to be done. Lots of editing. I wish I was exaggerating on it. A lot of us, a few of us, forgot that we were recording. So there's a lot of chatting. There's a lot of BSing. There's a lot of topics of conversation that aren't necessarily meant for public consumption. That's the best way I can put that. Um, so I will be posting those videos very soon. It's just a lot of editing. And there's a lot of swears that I'm like, I understand we swear a lot when we're playing D&D. Most do. Let's be honest. But I'm trying to keep it as safe for public consumption as possible. It's the best way I can word that. Um, hey, Fredster. So I'll get on that. It's a slow draw. Again, lots of editing. Totally worth it, I swear. Uh, what have you all been up to? What's been going on in the online world as of late? Don't mind me while I just click through some of my windows and change some things here. Um, so, first of all, I shouldn't even have to do this. Apologize for my little hiatus. Life, health, blah blah, whatever. You guys know how it is, etc., etc. Life got to me. So did my health. Happens with age, happens with health issues. So I've decided to make a little comeback. Today is the first day of school for, I don't know where else in the world it's happening, but here in Canada, Ontario specifically, it's back to school today. So it's the first time I've had a full day home alone in months. So I'm adjusting to that myself. Um, but I wanted to come on. I'd like to be here every Wednesday. Some Wednesdays will be better than others, some will be worse than others. For those of you who don't know, Wednesdays are my chemotherapy days. So it's hit and miss with how I feel, but I feel like this is a no pressure zone, fully forgiving community here on Twitch. So I just want to use this down day of mine to be an absolute nerd and get to relax and hang out with some super awesome people. Hopefully, this works out. There's going to be days where I'm not feeling so energetic. To be expected, that's also just life. Never mind the health issues aside, right? So, yeah, it's a lot that has been going on. One of which I'm sure you can see here. Um, I I can't say I've found a new addiction. It's a very old addiction of mine. Thanks, Fredster. I'm pretty excited about this, actually. I've missed everyone. I've missed being online. I've missed seeing people, chatting with people, getting to know new people, connecting, networking, all that sort of stuff. I've really missed it, like, a lot. It's kind of lonely when you're not online all the time, when you're used to being online all the time. Then again, we all get in our own heads about things and are sure and whatever, overthinking, yada yada. Whatever. But yeah, new addiction / old addiction. I used to play Magic when I was a teenager. I played it in high school. I played it in college. I'm making myself sound really old right now saying this stuff, but when I had my children, which is almost 19 years ago, I gave up said cardboard addiction. Not only for monetary reasons, because as some of you know, they're really expensive at times, but in order to provide for my family at the time as well. I wouldn't say I'm loaded by any means, but I do have some amazing people in my life who've really helped bring my past addiction forward again. It helps that there is Magic the Gathering Arena online. That being said, I don't want to poo-poo on the game, but it's not the same, as I'm sure a lot of you know. Like, that whole... Sorry, I have to keep adjusting the shirt. Worst shirt ever to wear first day. My apologies. Whatever. Wanted to be comfy. Anyways, physically touching the cards, as I'm sure a lot of people my age, maybe a little younger, maybe a little older, feel the same. If I'm paying exponential amount of money for something, I want it in my hands. I want to touch it. I want to feel it. I don't care if it's a video game. I don't care if it's a book. I don't care if it's my cards, figures, whatever. I'm a textile human. I like to touch my things. That sounds wrong out of context. Deal with it. Thanks for the resubscribe, Fredster. So, yeah, I've been playing a lot online. Admittedly, I do spend time outside of my house, the hospital, or at friends' houses, and a lot of those times I really don't have much else to do or keep games on my phone since my kids are now basically adults. But I did do this on my phone. This is a new phone, so it's not completely downloaded, but I do have the app on my phone, and I do tend to play it when I'm out and about. Out and about, so to speak. It's just a good passing of time, keeps your brain going, like, because there's a lot to it. And for those who already know, and for those who don't know, Magic the Gathering, every series of cards has their own different mechanics, so you're constantly also having to learn, which is kind of nice. But obviously, you're going to like some mechanics of some series more than others. That's just granted. Like, when I first started getting back into it, it was the Murders of Karlov, and I had Mirko as my commander for my commander deck. And I gotta say, he's very overpowered. And amazing. Super amazing. If I am being honest, even though I have Bloomburrow here, and I have some Wilds of Eldraine here, at the end of the day, because I started back up into Magic using the Murders of Karlov and Mirko as my commander, I kind of have a very biased opinion because he's pretty awesome, and I've done a lot of damage with him. The last little while was my absence from you guys. I have been doing some pre-releases of Magic at a friend's card shop in Stratford, Ontario. It's called Boo Town. It's a great shop, great people, great staff. It's a great environment, super open, friendly, very inviting, and very diverse and it's just like a super loving community. You're always going to get one or two people that are super competitive, but I've never experienced any ill will, any like bad sportsmanship, nothing there. So that's pretty awesome. So far, the pre-releases that I've done over at Bootown has been Bloomburrow, which arguably is one of my favorite series. The cuteness factor with my aggressiveness towards cuteness is just all there. But I also did the Outlaws of Thunder Junction. It was a fun series. The mechanics are really different. Wasn't really my cup of tea, but not every series is going to be. You know, it's cowboys, it's guns, it's very modern-y ish, in my opinion. But I did that. That was fun. I did the Bloomburrow. And I feel like we did another one. Or I could have just gone to the store and just bought a bunch of things. I think it was only the two pre-releases. There's another pre-release that I do want to do, and that's for the horror, actually. That's why I was thinking of the third. There's a new series coming out that's all horror related, and I'm kind of excited about that one. I might have to go do that pre-release. But I haven't just been delving into Magic again. I've started actually doing something really new for me. Back in my day, I did used to paint model cars every now and again. But with my obvious love of D&D and us actually getting to do a physical game just recently, I kind of started wanting to get into figures and figure painting and doing the scenery, because we also had that one shot with the Soda Pop Bros, which are our sponsor for D&D. We did the one shot in Windsor at their store, and I put together a very quick scene, bits and bobs from other friends' sets that they had, etc., etc. But recently I painted my very first full figure. You're gonna judge me harshly. I'm totally okay with that. But it's my first time. Be aware of that. I also, due to health issues, again, excuses, whatever, I do have shaky hands. So I don't have the most sturdy or steady of hands at the best of times. So for me to paint a figure, something so tiny, so intricate, and having a load of details, I wasn't really confident in trying it, but I think I didn't do too bad. So this is my very first figure. Here, let's get him right in there. And yeah, it's not the best, obviously, but you know, you put a little wash on there. Oh, God, cover my face again. Put a little wash on it, and come on, camera, focus. Anyways, you can sort of see. I'll set my camera up better for next week, for next Wednesday. It's not the worst. And if I'm being honest, like, I did take better pictures. I can post them later. I'm kind of really proud of this. I've been doing like a lot of learning about like washes and speed paints and stuff like that. Thank you, Crow. I am probably going to do more of these, if I'm being honest. This is a Warhammer figure. I'm not necessarily into Warhammer myself. Some of the figures are amazing, and some of the monsters are also amazing. But the big thing that I want to do with these guys is D&D, obviously. I did Liberate. Let's go with Liberate. I liberated some sets from a friend of mine that I will be co-painting with him. But I'm going to go grab those and show you guys to understand some of the shit that I'm going to be starting to get into. Like, for instance, they're basic sets, kind of expensive sets, so I'm happy that my friend is allowing me to A, liberate them, and B, is allowing me to co-paint them with them. They're pretty awesome. So we have this set. There's a lot of other, like, bits and bobs that, you know, come outside of those packages. Like, there's another one. And again, they come unpainted. You have to cut them off the pieces. You got to sand them down. It's a lot of work. It's not as quick and easy as a lot of people like to think it is. Like, for instance, this is a part of a dragon. So I'm going to have to cut it out. I'm going to have to sand it down. I'm going to have to primer it. I'm going to have to paint it, add the details, all that sort of stuff. I'm learning, so be kind. But I'm hoping that I can get better and better at it, regardless of my shaky hands, especially after learning about, again, like I mentioned, those speed paints. They kind of simplify everything. I'll have to go through some of the videos I watch so I can mention some of the people that I've been watching. One of them, I believe her name is Dana Howell. She's probably here on Twitch, I would assume. And there was a Goober Town. I watched some of his videos as well. So this is something else I will be slowly getting into online, both here and offline. I'll probably do some videos and throw them up on YouTube as well. But this is like just part of some of the things I'm into lately, or rather getting myself into. And like I said, I'm starting with your basic Warhammer parts and pieces. But I'd much rather practice painting on something that my friend doesn't care about than painting on something, say, like one of these kits, and then fudging it up hard, and then I'll feel bad because they spent the money, not me. So, still excited to try it, though. And as you saw, I mean, it's not the worst. Would I like more detail? Yes, but Warhammer can be a huge addiction, bro, and, you know, like, I've looked into it. It's not that I haven't looked into it. I've watched videos, I've asked friends, I've gone and just, like, read up about it and stuff like that, and I gotta say, like, goddamn, I'm so sorry I'm constantly changing the shirt. I should have changed the shirt earlier. Whatever. I just, as much as I want to have an interest in it, for obvious reasons, it's, God, I'm gonna sound like picky here, but it's too mechy. I like the idea of the orcs. They're hilarious. The fact that they can just will things into like, they just will things to work, and they manifest things with their own psychic powers. Trucks go faster because they're red. Things like that. That to me is hilarious. Like, that's my jam. Like, oh, we can't fix this thing. I'm just gonna make it work. That's hilarious and awesome. And again, trucks go faster because they're painted red. Brilliant and hilarious. Stupid. And everything's like a choppa, and they're not smart, and they're basically like barbarians in a sense. I love all the idea of it. Just can't get behind the mass amounts of armies that you have to paint. Although I do want to do more of these, I'm not really sure I'd want to do anywhere from 20 to 50, if not 100 of the same thing. I would get really bored really easily, and I know that. Also, the mechy side of things, I'm just kind of like, eh. I know there's some like dark armies and stuff like that. It's not for a lack of not looking into it. Wow, it's strong. It's right. Like, I love the idea of the orcs. There's no reason not to. It's ridiculous and hilarious all at the same time. I like the idea is great. I do love it. I just can't personally get behind it. I'm more into fantasy, role playing, uh, shit like that. Unfortunately, I probably will paint more Warhammer characters. I don't really know if I'll build a Warhammer army. If I do, it'd probably be for someone else. Because I just don't really have the interest in wanting to play it myself. But, so that's one of the things that I've been getting into. Obviously, you guys know Legos is a big thing. That being said, Legos is a very expensive addiction as well as Warhammer. Unlike Warhammer, Legos is more or less a one and done. You build it, you set it, you're done. You don't go play with it after the fact, stuff like that. Warhammer is a little more fun in the idea that you're painting them to use them later. So it's that too. But I do have a lot of Lego sets that I still need to build. I'm just gonna bring this giant box over here because we'll eventually end up going into it, I'm sure. Oh, nice. See, I want a full D&D set so bad. Again, those aren't mine. I've liberated them, but I cannot claim them as my own. But I do get to play with them, which is fun. And I do have some other things downstairs that I will be showing you guys on another day, but yeah. It's kind of some of the stuff that I've been into while I've been offline and not really around chatting with you guys as much. Come on, camera. I really wish you'd focus on this guy. Because he's so cool. Wait, what if I do this? Boom. Nope. Anyways, I'm proud of this guy. Ignore me. Going back to the magic, I have a lot of cards to open. I will be allowing tips, both here and one of the other sites I will be coming back to soon. Tip to have me open a pack of cards. Today I'm probably just going to do a pack of cards for free. I'm an impatient person and I fucking love opening cards so much. I get so excited. Like, love it every time. I don't even care if it's a repeat. I think I started playing Magic around then too, Crow. And again, the only reason why I stopped, I had kids. I got rid of my cards, I got rid of my collections, I got rid of everything. But my kids are now adults, so... Dang, that's long ago. Do you still play? Do you still play Magic? I have... So I had... I can't even say that this was me. All of these cards in here, it was an investment through some friends to help me get back on my feet and back online. So thank you for helping me and assisting me and getting me back into this position, and also for the motivation to get me back out there. I play a lot of Arena as well. I just really like touching my card. I like the physical thing. It's like I play a lot of digital games online, obviously, but when I buy them online, I feel kind of ripped off that I don't get to have that. So if they take that offline, then I lose that game. I don't like that idea. To me, it's me. It's just a me thing. What do I have here? Show you guys some of the cards that I do have to open that will be available for tipping to have me open. I'm sure you can see I have a lot of Bloomburrow over here. Not mildly obsessed with the cuteness at all. I have more Bloomburrow here. I have these Commander Masters. I only have 2 of them to open. For those of you who know Magic, these are your high-range, more expensive cards. I have some Crimson Bow, which are the vampires. I have the Innistrad Midnight Hunt, which are your werewolves. I've only opened so far 1 pack each of these myself, and I gotta say, upon only seeing 1 pack each, I'm kind of interested in the mechanic of them. I saw a card that showed 1 side day, 1 side night, and then I saw another card that showed that your creature has different strength day and night. So, kind of excited to open these and learn a little bit more about them. For those who don't know me that well, I don't go researching these things. I like to go in blind and learn about them as I go. Gives me something fun to do, and then I don't seem like a snob, and then I'm not looking forward to something that I may or may not get. I like the idea of surprise. That being said, don't tell me you have a surprise for me, or I'll be impatient. I also have these Chaldeum cards. So they're Viking, Chaldeum magic cards. I have not yet opened one of these yet. I have no idea what's in these packs. I have no idea what these cards are about. My friend said that they were Viking, Chaldeum. That's all I know. Literally all I know. I don't know what the lands look like. I don't know what the cards look like. I have no idea any of the mechanics behind these cards. So I'm excited to kind of get into these. It's a whole new experience for me. Now, I'm sure you can see there's 2 boxes in here as well. I have a full box of set boosters for the Wilds of Eldraine. Still in plastic, as you can tell. It's a lot of fucking cards to open. I love this. I love the fantasy behind it. As you guys know, I love fantasy. There's fairies, pixies, nymphs. There's all of the weird, crazy, wacky characters that you would love from like fairy tales and then some. It's really cool. And the art is absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. I love it. So I'm excited to open these. That being said, I do already have my commander deck of the Wilds of Eldraine. I have the blue-black set, and Tegwil is my commander. I haven't gotten to play this commander deck as much as I'd like to. There's only 2 commanders in the set of the Wilds of Eldraine. I mean, you can have your alternative commanders for those who know commander sets. That being said, I'm not that experienced with them, so I haven't really changed this commander that it came with yet, because I want a little more experience getting to know him and how this deck works. Personally, so far, with the amount of time that I've played him, not the biggest fan. But the art, again, is stunning, and I want to learn more about them, which is why we have this. And that's a lot of packs to open. I also have this bit. This I'm so excited about. Oh my god. Oh my god. Thank you, Fredster. This big box. I'm so stupidly geeked about it. So, you know my love for D&D, obviously. You know my love for Baldur's Gate, which I've played well over 600 hours of. You've got to be shitting me. Dungeons and Dragons Adventures of the Forgotten Realms. There you go. Still sealed in the box. Plastic still on it. The only reason why the plastic's still on these is because, as I said previously, I am super impatient and very excitable to get into them. So the longer the plastic's on it, the better it is for me, and I won't feel tempted to open them. These I've opened a couple packs of, like little single packs like these. I'm very excited. I have found some traps. I have found some super cool lands. I really want to build a deck out of these in particular. Yeah. And basically what I can see here, I'm sure you can see it too a little bit. I'm pretty sure that's a beholder. So I'm just excited to see some of the creatures that I know. Look, there goes my camera. Hello. So Fredster sent a tip. That being said, it's the first tip of the day, and I did say I was going to open a pack free anyways, because impatient is my first day back, and hey, what pack do you want to open, Fredster? Do you want to do... I'll let you pick. We'll open one pack of your choice. We have the werewolves, we have the vampires, we have the Vikings, we have the Bloomburrow, we have the Commander Masters. What else do we have? Oh, right. I could just potentially open up that D&D box and pull a pack out of that. We have the Wilds of Eldraine that I can open up as well. It's up to you what you want to open, or want me to open, I should say. I'm so excited now. Oh, also, that being said, so when I... D&D, of course. I kind of assumed it was going to be that, but I have to ask. I gotta say, these Bloomburrow cards, when I was talking about commander sets and decks, for those who don't know, the Bloomburrow commander decks are really overpowered. They have a lot of mechanics, and there's a lot of synergy in them. It's another reason why I haven't gotten to know my Wilds of Eldraine as well, because in my opinion, based on like some of my experience, there's really no comparison in power. Then again, luck of the draw, luck of the die, it's the same thing as D&D, right? So, oh my god, I'm so excited. We're opening this. Sorry. Mildly excited. I'm gonna put all these cards back. Okay, I'm so jacked right now. Also, thank you again, Fredster. It's always better that someone gives me an excuse to open these things instead of just being like an impatient child like I am. Oh, where's my scissors? Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'll toss that back in the box. Does this all come out? How's this open? Ooh. 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 I was right. It's a beholder. Oh, that looks so cool. I'll see what's in here. Yeah, you do know me too well. I'm quite the kid at times. Ooh, look at that. They're all like properly displayed, all nice. So, let's see. There's some... Oh, they're all... So there's three... Looks like there's 3 different images. 4 different images. We have one with a dragon, one with an illithid, and one with a human, it looks like. I think I'm gonna open the one with the dragon. I know it's not really gonna matter, it's all packaging, but I do like dragons a little more than I like the illithid and the human, so we're gonna go for a dragon. The box is super cool. I'm totally geeked about this, and it has like nice little dividers in it as well, so after I open these I can at least put all the cards back in organized. Not that I have any OCD whatsoever. Oh my god, let's see what we got. Ooh, right off the bat we got an art card. So admittedly, I'm collecting some of the art cards from some of the series. One of the series of art cards that I'm looking for specifically is the Wilds of Eldraine. I already told you the art was beautiful, so I want to make a collage out of the art from that. Why doesn't this shirt stay up? This is Veteran Dungeoneer, Sebastian Giacobino. I could be pronouncing that wrong. But look at that. The art cards in these series is next level. I really love when I do get them. Some people find it a waste and actually toss them out. I've seen it at pre-releases. I tend to request people's art cards when they don't want them. We got your basic mountain. It's really nice art, actually. Land's always good to get. You get usually 1 or 2 lands per packs, which is exactly what you're going to need if you're going to be building a deck, which I hope to do out of these Dungeons & Dragons cards, because, again, some of the mechanics are so cool. Oh, this is a super nifty card. Underdark Basilisk. Death Touch, that's all it's got. It's just... Come on, camera, focus. We will have this better next week, I promise. Here, just do this. So temperamental today. You come to the Gnoll camp. It's an instant. Choose one. You can either intimidate them. Up to 2 target creatures can't block this turn. Or you can fend them off. Target creature gets +3/+1 until end of turn. Some of those end of turn ones are really handy if you're stuck in a bind. I personally am not the biggest fan of end of turn. I want to keep my power as long as I can. Sylvan Shepherd. It's a creature human druid. Vigilance, which is always nice to have. It means you don't have to tap your card. Whenever it attacks, you roll a d20. So already, just upon opening these cards, you know you're going to need some dice. Good to know. So you need to roll a d20. If you get 1 to 9, you gain 1 life. 10 to 19, you gain 2 life. If you get a 20, you gain 5 life. That's pretty awesome. Super lucrative to have in a card, especially when you're playing Magic. Life is fleeting. Inspiring Bard. Elf Bard. When Inspiring Bard enters the battlefield, you choose 1. Bardic Inspiration. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Or Song of Rest, and you gain 3 life. Keeps you going. Is kind of, again, something that you really end up needing. It's a 3/3 and you only pay 4 mana for it. It's not bad, especially when it has those additives into it, right? Burning Hands. It's an instant. Burning Hands deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If that permanent is green, Burning Hands deals 6 damage instead. Makes sense. Fire and Forest would spread. I like that. On camera. Some of the cards it likes, some of the cards it doesn't. I will be taking pictures and uploading them online later as well, just because I'm very much into Magic lately. Loathsome Troll. It's a creature. It's a, 5 mana. For 4 mana, roll a d20. Activate only if Loathsome Troll is in your graveyard. 1 to 9. Put Loathsome Troll on top of your library. 10 to 19, return it to your hand, and 20, you return it to the battlefield tapped. You'd really want a nat 20 for that, that's for sure. Oh, I wish you could see him. He's so creepy cool. Ray of Frost. Enchantment Aura. Gives you flash. You enchant a creature. When it enters the battlefield, if enchanted creature is red, tap it. As long as enchanted creature is red, it loses all abilities. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Interesting mechanic. Not really sure it'd be a card that I'd want in my arsenal myself, but it's still pretty good. Roulette. It's a beast. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this guy. Well, that's kind of good. You always want to pump your creatures up, especially since it's a 3/3. Costs 4 mana, but 4 mana for a 3/3 isn't that bad, especially when it starts ramping up. Black Dragon. Ooh. Flying. Acid Breath. When Black Dragon enters the battlefield, target creature an opponent controls gets -3/-3 until the end of the turn. Target creature that has a 4/4, and you're laughing because then it's a 1/1, right? So just love the art. Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Well, it's a land. If you control 2 or more other lands, Hive of the Eye Tyrant enters tapped. You can tap and add a black mana, obviously. Or for 4 mana, till the end of the turn, it becomes a 3/3 Black Beholder creature. Haha! With Menace, which means you need 2 creatures to block it. Whenever this creature attacks, exile target card from defending player's graveyard. It's still a land. That's a pretty good freaking land card, if I gotta fucking say. I would definitely want this in my arsenal. 110%. And I wish it would, like, focus so you can see how cool it is. There we go. It's a pretty good land card, just saying. Dragon's Fire. It's an instant, obviously. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may reveal a dragon card from your hand. Well, we had the Black Dragon, so that. Dragon's Fire deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If you reveal the dragon card or chose a dragon as you cast the spell, Dragon's Fire deals damage equal to the power of that card or creature instead. If you had a dragon that was, for instance, a 9/9, this card would be rather formidable because it's only 2 mana to cost. It's also a nice little foil card that we got. I don't know if it'll focus on the foil or not. It's a bit shiny. There we go. Super pretty, though. And then our last card is a token card of a wolf. Which, this wolf was armor, so he looks pretty badass. Of course, my camera's picky today. But you can see he's wearing armor and he's super cool. Hello, Mac. Just opening up some D&D Magic cards, which I'm so excited about. And like I said, I haven't seen enough of these cards to really know what they're capable of, but the fact that you have to play with dice while you're playing these, to me, is really fun because there's so many competitive people out there with D&D and with Magic as well. I'm not really a competitive person. Like, I kind of am to a degree, but for games like this where it's the luck of the draw of cards or the luck of the roll of the dice, it's out of your hands. Sure, you can control what you have, but you can't control the outcome of the game entirely unless you're cheating. I love that. I love that aspect. Oh, shit! Ha! Back in my day, I remember Jam Handle. Dude, it's been forever. Fuck. How are you? I hope you're well. Here I am just being an absolute fucking nerd. Yeah, you don't say. Like, high school-ish. In around high school-ish. Oof, I'm starting to sound old here. That's good to hear. So now, like, here's, like, one of my big dilemmas, right, is, new series of cards. This is my... I have 3 of these packs, not of Bloomburrow, obviously. One of these cases is Outlaws of Thunder Junction. One of them is Wilds of Eldraine. Obviously, I have the Bloomburrow because obsessed. But as you can see, it's full. And so are my other 2. And this box here is also jam-packed. These are also only all Bloomburrow. Obsessed. I'm gonna need a new thing, like a new container so I can separate my series, because I like to keep all my series separated from one another for obvious reasons. For now, I'm just gonna sneak these guys into the back of my Bloomburrow and hope I remember later. For safekeeping and all that. I'm glad to hear you're doing well, Mac. Man, like, what a blast from the past that is while I'm, like, talking about things I used to do in high school. What are the odds? Yeah, some of these are from the pre-release. I think... Are these my pre-releases? Yeah, so for pre-release, you build a deck on site, you compete, you can win extra freebies and blah, blah, blah. So this was my pre-release deck that I created from my Bloomburrow pre-release. It's nothing really to write home about. You get strapped for what you can get when you're at a pre-release, right? That being said, I will eventually have to organize all of these. But I do want to build a deck with you guys, too. Thanks, Lord Blunt. You're the nerd. We were just talking about, like, my obsession with Bloomburrow and how many of their cards I do have. Actually, one of the people who invested in this crazy amount of Bloomburrow cards is Lord Blunt, by the way. No worries, Mac. Hit me up on like Facebook or message me here and I'll give you my number and we can like chit chat or whatnot. Catch up. It's been forever. I love that you're at work doing this. Bloomburrow is absolutely adorable. And like I said earlier, the decks are really overpowered. I have all 4 commander decks sitting here at my house. Thanks, Mac. Yeah, I have all 4 commander decks of Bloomburrow here at my home. I say it that way because not all of them are mine. One in particular that is mine that I wanted was the Trash Pandas, which is the raccoons. Bello being the commander. And me and all my stupid, crazy, cute, nerdy style. I went and got myself some special sleeves from Grand Archive because, as you know, I love my anime as well. And it's so cute. Look at these little slimes. Look at them. I could have gotten something a little more in style with these cards, I suppose, but I mean, I couldn't resist. That being said, I was so obsessed with Bello that I did actually purchase him outside of purchasing the commanders, just so I had an extra. Yep, that's me. How have you been, Lord? Oh, speaking of art cards, I'm going back and forth here. It's my ADD or ADHD. The art cards for Bloomburrow. Stunning. So many different styles, all so super cute. Some of them are kind of terrifying. Meant to be. But look at these. Oh. Oh. Just gonna keep rotating here. The otters are so freaking cute. Elemental wolf. The squirrels are... The squirrel deck is super formidable. I think this one's upside down. It is. There we go. Whoop. Whoop. So yes, I do have 2 of this art card. One is signed, one is not. There's Mabel Mouse. So far, that's all of the Bloomburrow art series cards that I have. I did mention before that I do have 2 children that are basically adults, and, well, there was some art cards in here that they just couldn't resist and needed. So, one of them being my son's obsessed with possums, so he obviously got the possum cards. And my daughter is absolutely obsessed with the cute little bunnies, so she got a couple of the bunny cards. Which is no worries, because like I said, there's a lot of people I know that just toss out these art cards at pre-releases, or they just don't really care about them. for me and myself, my home, I want to create a full collage, put it into a frame, and have all of the art cards from the Bloomburrow. I want all the art cards from the Wilds of Eldraine. And there's a very good chance, because of my obsession with D&D, that I'm going to want all of the D&D cards as well. Art cards, let's be specific, because there's going to be a lot of cards out there. So it's like kind of where I've been at with my nerdy obsessions as of late. What has everyone else been up to? All the things, always, Lord, always. Come on, how else would I work? There we go. I kind of want to show you guys some more of the... Right. Well, hopefully you had a good time. It's always fun in Vegas, even if it's just a short time. I kind of really want to show you guys some more of these Bloomburrow cards. The cuteness factor is beyond real with them. But again, it's a formidable set. The series is kind of super overpowered compared to some of the other decks that I've been up against. Sort of, kind of. I would say at least a month or so ago, I was gaming at a friend's house, and they happened to be using one of the Doctor Who decks, which they pumped up the jam real hard on. Still super impressive, though. I was not expecting a lot of power and craziness from a Doctor Who deck, but it was also something to be feared. But, like, even the fish token, look, it's simple, but it's cute. And then the mountains, well, not the mountains, sorry, all the lands, there's 4 different versions of lands in the Bloomburrow, and it's in every season, which is not normal for what they do for lands ordinarily. So, like, you have winter, summer, spring, and fall versions of every land in Bloomburrow. I'm not really sure, because, again, I like to go in blind. I don't like to research, and I like learn that way. I like to learn my own ways. I'm not really sure if that pertains necessarily to each commander, since there's 4 commander decks per Bloomburrow, or if they just wanted to throw all the seasons in there. I will probably end up looking this stuff up later. But as you know, I chose the raccoon as my commander, specifically Trash Pandas. And they don't disappoint. Let's see. There's a lot of duos that are in this set. Or in this series, I should say. So you have, like, the mouse raccoon. There's, like, squirrels and rabbits that are together. Stuff like that. The lands are really fun. Again, because of all the things. There's a lot of sarcasm and jokes within the cards themselves, which I appreciate. The extra little bit of attention to detail that they put into things. Let's see if we have a forest. We have 2 different forests here. I will show you guys a... Oh, nope, those are both the same forest. One's just foil and one's not. This kind of reminds me of the old Beatrice art of Peter Rabbit. Dating myself here a bit with that, but... Hey, Glock, how are you? Like, take out the trash. Hilarious little corp quip thing, words. I'm pretty good. Oh my god, Lord. That's so funny. Shine bright like a diamond. Of course it would come on as you're talking about it. I'm alright, Glock. Hopefully you're good. You're doing good, I'm gonna assume. Or I'd like to assume, anyways. I like those in my life being good. But it's understandable if not. Well, that's good to hear. So here's like... I'll see if I can find another swamp. But here, for instance, is a swamp that's winter. I'll put that one aside and let's see if we can find ourselves like another swamp card. After I show you the plains in spring, which is beautiful. And the full art is just... it's just nice. I'll pull that one aside too. Let's see what we can find here. What's everyone been up to since I've been kind of MIA? Here's the card for that one art card. Ruthless Negotiation. Target opponent exiles a card from their hand. If the spell was cast from a graveyard, draw a card. You can also do a flashback. You pay 4 mana, and you can cast this from your graveyard. Then you have to exile it. And it only costs 1 mana, so it's not that bad. Hey, working's important. There's a lot of people who are out without work right now, so it's nothing really to poo-poo at. Let's see. What else do we have for land? Oh, is that a different swamp? Here we go. So now I can kind of show you guys. So there's your winter swamp and your summer swamp. Same swamp, same series, but just different seasons, which for most people they might not give two rats' asses about, but to me, I think the extra detail is kind of fucking fun and cool. But I am that nerdy. Not much, Fredster. Sounds like I needed to come online and start harassing you guys a little more. Oh, and here's a swamp in spring. So now we have... oh, no, that one's the same one. Nope, no, it's not. Alright, cool. Huzzah! So now we have 3 different swamps. One's got little powder puffs, and one's got like some dying flowers, and then there's another one that's fall and it has all the dying leaves, so super cool. Super nerd. Well, I totally plan to be online a lot more now. Has taken me a while to come back, get myself back on my own feet. There's a lot of... I'm sure you guys are like this too. There's a lot of in my head about coming back online. It's been a while. I was afraid that I was gone, nobody cared, or whatever. You know how it is. Life. Gotta get out of our own heads. Let's see what else we got. I'm trying to see if I can find the 4th season of the swamp. Nope, that's the same, it's just not in foil. Ah, there we go. Ah! Now I have all 4 swamps. I can kind of show you. And they've done it with all of their cards. So... oh, that's forest. We don't want that. Let's see. Spring, summer, winter, fall. There we go. So as you can see, the fall has your oranges, a little bit of dead leaves on the ground. Spring's a lot more bright. It's small little details to me that matter a lot. That's true, Fredster, and I do honestly really appreciate that. I was really in my head for a while, and I'm really happy to be making a comeback and being able to share my nerdy, weird ways with you guys once again, and just take it easy and enjoy life. Now that I've gone through these, the urge to organize them and get all the lands out and organize it between creatures and blah blah, high, so high. My OCD is... Won't do that to you guys because I would be stuck in a hole. That is what I did to this box, which is why it looks a little crazy, because these are all creatures. Tahir's creatures. These are my instants and sorceries. Yep. Beyond those, where this other divider of a piece of paper is, I have my okay, so those are instants. These are sorcery. Then I have my artifacts, enchantments, and then tokens. Not the best organization because it's all open box, but as you can see, this one's filled. And I don't have other boxes, so we're going to have to work on that. Slowly but surely. And I have to say, if you've not played Magic ever, but you have an interest, personally, I'm finding getting back into Magic a little easier because I do play online on the arena. It is kind of a cash grab. I'm not really gonna be nice about that. There's a lot of cash grabbing on that one. It's kind of a grind, but learning the mechanics makes it so much easier. So much easier. There's cards in there that I didn't really quite understand in person, but playing it online, they help you learn how the mechanic works a little better, so it's been helping me in person play. I can say it's very frustrating to play Magic the Gathering online. It's very competitive, and there's no real level between beginner, intermediate, or pro whatsoever. You are going up against anybody, which kind of sucks. I would like if there was a better leveling system, make it easier for beginners to get into it instead of throwing them right into the deep end and expecting them to do something. Oh, that's okay, Fredster. Yeah, we'll figure that out. I will be online tomorrow on a different site from the same time, starting at 12:30. This is me slowly getting back into work. I will be online 2 days a week. And hoping it goes good. So far, it's been a great experience. An old high school friend popped in. I was not expecting that at all. So this has actually been a really great experience of coming back online. I was slightly nervous, if I'm being honest. Hee hee. It's also been super long since I've been online solo, and it seems like an excruciating forever time since I've even had the house to myself. I love summer break. I love spending time with my kids, obviously. But when your kids are also kind of homebodies, or they're preparing for studies for college or school or whatever, them being home all the time, and it can be a bit much at times. I don't know how else nicer to say that, because again, I love my kids. I really, really love my kids. They're awesome people. Everybody needs their own personal space. And I know I have my bedroom, but nobody wants to stay locked in their bedroom for forever either. Relatively speaking, I'm sure there's people out there who do. Don't want to poo-poo on them either. Let's see. What else do I got going on? Text messages. That's what else I got going on. I'm so excited. So I'm thinking, because obviously my only plan for today was to just kind of get back in the mode, tell you guys what I've been up to, tell you what I would like to be doing online. I do have a lot of things. I hate to just say this out loud, but I do have a lot of things on my Amazon wish list to help promote and support me coming back online with some of these new things that I'm going to be doing. And I'd like to, when I start painting my figures online, to be able to not just, ooh, oh my god. I want to not just learn, I want to learn when I'm with you guys, if that makes sense. So I'm hoping that I can get some of those speed paints that I told you about that should help with my shaky hands and stuff like that. And I can just sit here and paint figures with you guys while we figure shit out together, learn things, probably fuck some shit up because that's gonna happen, let's be honest. I want to do some more card opening. Like, even right now, I'm so tempted. So tempted. The Lego building, I have a no-face Lego kit right now that I could build. I'm not going to do it today, obviously. It's for another day. But I do have a lot of things that I get to do with you guys, which I'm really excited about because I am such a freaking nerd. I want to also, this is going to be very difficult to do, I'm sure. I want to build my next D&D set here on Twitch. Now I know some of my players watch, so I will have to be kind of obscure with some of the things that I will be saying and doing when I'm doing that, but also it's not like they're going to know the story or how everything is going to outcome because luck of the dice. So I think we should probably do that together, and maybe you guys can even give me some awesome ideas as to how to fuck with my party, since they derail everything all the time. Two of which are in here right now watching. I'm sorry. um, we're all really good at it, though. Thanks, Crow. Yeah. Let's see how. Oop, oop. I'm doing a thing. Here we go. Ta-da. I had to change the latest subscriber to the Crow. Thank you, Crow. Yeah, you guys. I love how much you guys fuck shit up for me, though. I can't even deny that. If the game went according to how I wanted it to go all the time, I personally would get bored. I'm just throwing that out there. It doesn't mean you guys can fuck shit up more for me. Don't you even think about it. I know it's gonna happen regardless. But it would be so boring if everything went according to plan all the time. I would just be like yawning and bored. Some of the shit you guys do pull out, though, is obscenely insane and compared to what I would ever imagine, but we do have fun. Oh, I'm so tempted to open another deck of cards. No, bad. Bad, Corey. Bad. Instead of opening cards, quick little question. Does anyone know anything enough about Magic to know the difference between your regular deck, your pre-release deck, and a commander deck? I know I'm just throwing out some crazy questions for games that some of you may or may not have ever played, but I'm just curious as to the knowledge of people out there watching right now. Okay, well, that's a good starting point. Okay, that's all right. So, your pre-release deck, um, not a lot of people even have to know about them because unless you're going to a pre-release of a series, it's not really super important to know. The pre-release, basically what happens is you go to your shop, you go to the store, wherever you're going to get your pre-release, or you might even order it online, and then you won't even really have to build a pre-release deck if you don't want to. If you do it in person with other people, it's really fun because you're going to have your diehards who know exactly what to expect. They've already done all the research. They've already looked it up. They already went through all the news articles. They already kind of know what they want, what they're looking for, and what's to come. Then there's people like me who love the element of surprise. So I don't look at anything. I don't look it up at all. Just don't want it. I just want to be surprised, shock and awe, full excitement. I love it. So when you go to a pre-release, you get ooh, ooh. Hold on. I will go get you a pre-release box. One sec. I should have had this figured out. Sorry. Alright. Sorry that took me so long. Alright. So. Ooh. Isn't Lord Blunt awesome? So, you get to your pre-release. For instance, like I said previously, I've done 2. I go to my friend's shop, Bootown in Stratford, Ontario. Super awesome for everything. Great community, great staff, super friendly place. Not just saying that because I'm biased. I have brought other friends there and they've also felt super awesome and amazing. And we're very well received being there. It's a great place to go. You get your pre-release. I wish I had one of the other boxes. Oddly enough, I kept them to show you guys, but when I was cleaning my room, I did throw out the actual box. So, this box comes in a box in a box. You open your box, you just tear the side, it opens up. You have some tokens that you can pop out, which I obviously kept them. And then at the front of the box, you get these cute little, where is it? These cute little cards. Don't ask me what they're for. I never actually asked myself. So you get these, you just pop them out of the box. Then on the flaps on the side of the box, you get 2, 4, 6, 8 counters. So you get +1/+1. Then the other side is like, well, that one's just a +1/+1 on both sides. This one is you're poisoned or warped. Poison and warp again, and +1/+1/+1/+1. If you're a super avid player, you obviously already have the dice, so you don't really need these little counters. Still kind of fun to have. Then this box comes out, and in that box is all your packs of cards. You open them up, you're with everyone else that's opening up, just the same as you. You get 1 hour. Actually, no. I think it's only 45 minutes. 45 minutes to an hour. Open the box. Go through it. Open all your packages. You toss everything out. And then you have another 45 minutes to an hour to make your pre-release deck. And your pre-release deck consists of 40 cards. Your average normal deck for Magic is 60 to 80, depending on what version you're playing and from what era. The Commander series, however, it has 100. 100 cards, full stop. Plus your Commander, who never actually goes into your deck. So you have to go through. Your best bet when you're doing the pre-release is you choose 2 colors. You choose more than that, for only 40 cards, you're biting off more than you can chew if you take more than 2 colors. You're really going to shoot yourself in the foot with that. Yes, 100 cards and you cannot duplicate a card. That's right. So you create your 40 card deck. You sit there, you play with everybody. They all did the same thing, which is what I really love. Again, the element of surprise, everyone's on the same sort of level. It doesn't matter how avid or not used to playing you are or aren't. You just opened up a random pack with a bunch of strangers, and you're creating a 40-card deck off the hop with whatever you have. You can't change whatever you have. That's it. I love that. So you might be a better player, you might know the cards, you might know the mechanics better, but doesn't guarantee you better cards or better shuffling of the cards. You know what I mean? Like, luck of the draw, luck of the die. I love it. You also get a super cute little die. You get your 20-sided die. Let's see, I think this one's a Bloomburrow. I have 2 pre-release dies and sets here. Nope, this was Outlaws of the Thunder Junction, so I'll put that one away. This is the Bloomburrow. So it will be stamped on the 20 with their series logo. For those who don't know, on your Magic cards, if you look over here, it's going to be blurry because of lighting. That is the symbol for Bloomburrow. That's how you know it's a Bloomburrow series. Specifically, every series has their own stamp and logo. So yeah, you build your deck, you play, and the fun thing, I'm not sure how other shops do it. I'm obviously just going to keep going back to talk about Boo Town, but when we do Boo Town pre-releases, you paid to get in, you get this. You still get 1 free pack of boosters, so you still get an additional, no matter what, win or lose, even if you don't want to play 1 tournament or 1 match, you get one of these. These are worth $7.99 here in Canada, so that's already an $8 value above what you just did. But if you play and you do good, there is 4 top prizes. You could win, the top prize is you could win a box like this, which is insane. and then they just go down from there. There's no harm in trying it. It's not super competitive. You're with like-minded people in a good environment, and you're all there for the same fucking reason, right? A lot of the players that I played up against have admitted that they're tournament-based players. Like, they've gone to tournaments, they have awards, blah, blah, blah. And yet, I have twice only, actually beat some of these people. And it's because you need the talent, you need the knowledge, but it's always just the luck of the draw, and I love it. I love it so much. So they'll help you. And a lot of the players, if you're about to shoot yourself in the foot for making a wrong move, what I really, really like about the environment of that is some of them will be like, are you sure you want to do that? And every time someone says that to me, I go back and I read every sort of dynamic on every sort of card that I've laid down and realize that I was about to shoot myself in the foot, or I had the availability to do something better. The education is there. It's a good experience. So that's kind of like your pre-release. Realistically, it's a quick shot deck. I'm probably going to take apart my pre-release decks and throw them into a proper deck, if not create my own commander deck, which will be a daunting experience to create one from scratch, because these pre-release, or these like commander decks that you, oh my god, that scared the fuck out of me. The fart scared the shit out of me. I'm sorry, I don't know who did that, but thank you, and also wow. Totally caught me off guard. But like your commander deck, if this is a pre-release commander deck, it's already built. The synergies there is perfectly balanced. The most I'd want to do, like I said when I was talking about my Wilds of Eldraine, I might want to change the commander. For this, for the Bloomburrow, I would not change the commander. I might want to change a couple other cards. There's some enchantments and stuff like that that I feel are as synergetic as they could be based on the massive amounts of other cards I've found through this series. That being said, to each their own. So you go through. Oh, right. I forgot I had an expensive card. It was in its own case. Oopsie. For those who don't know, there are cards in some of these sets that are worth a significant amount of money. Make sure you check on your cards. There's a site that I like to use called Face to Face Games. They're pretty up to date with their pricing and stuff like that. It's where I go to check my card values. But again, pre-release, you're not really going to do much with it. It's fun, though. And then you get all these extra cards, right? I'm sure you've noticed now that I do use a lot of sleeves. I like to color code my cards. I like to protect them. The foil cards tend to warp and bend, so if I can keep them set in place and not ruined, I do that as much as I can. So then you have that's your pre-release. Then you have your normal average deck. Again, as Crow can attest, I'm sure, based on when you used to play Magic and Magic now, it was either 60 cards. It was 60 cards when I was in high school. It's no longer 60 cards. For a lot of people, they use 80. And I think that's only because they've moved to the Commander series. Again, don't quote me on this. I'm not a professional, and I don't look shit up. I just know from my own personal experience and playing online and playing with others. But I still think the average deck that people tend to build is 60. Although there's a lot that do the 80. And again, that's because of the commanders. That's in 100 sets. The regular decks that you want to create, or so like your normal deck of your 60, is pretty quick and easy. Same mechanics as anything else. You can have repeat cards, stuff like that. So a lot of people tend to build their. I'm going to mention this because I'm sure Crow and other people who are watching will understand when I mention this. Your rat decks. Let's talk about plague rats for a second and their fucking decks and how insane they are. Let's just get defeated by a bunch of plague rats with death touch, shall we? Ugh. But people do it, and it works. I don't know why I knew you were going to have one. I just kind of assumed. I had a rat deck when I was in high school, and I loved it. I ruined everyone all the time. It was brilliant. It's a thing. So, yes, with your average, everyday, regular playing deck of 60 cards, you can repeat your cards, which is great, and especially if you have a mechanic like rats. Okay, well, discard decks are pretty good to have as well. Um, so it it's a more it's a faster paced game, I feel, in comparison to the Commander. So you have your repeat cards, you have your toss away cards, you can do a discard deck. You really have a lot of openness to really play around with how your deck works. You can create like fantasy decks, you can change around, like no matter what you can, and this goes for Commander series as well, you can put different series of cards into your decks. Don't think that you only need Bloomburrow. I don't know why that part scared me again. It did. You don't have to just make a strict Bloomburrow deck. You don't have to make a strict Wild of Eldraine deck. You can in regular, and I do believe in Commander as well, as long as you're not repeating cards, you can just use whatever series of cards you want, which is fun. The reason that the Commander deck is so different is there's no repeat cards. You need a lot of synergy. And then, again, like I said, I personally chose with the Bloomburrow deck, I chose Bellow. I love trash pandas or raccoons very much. They're so cute. I don't know how many of you have ever watched the video of the raccoon who is given cotton candy. Raccoons tend to wash their food and wash their hands before they eat. Very sad video. Poor little guy tries to eat his cotton candy and it just keeps washing away from him. They're so cute. I just love raccoons. So, yes, there are some banned and restricted cards. There's also some cards that are now not legal standard cards. If you go on to Magic the Gathering site, you'll know those cards. But if you play on the arena, you can actually go through all of the cards, through all of the series, and look through all of the banned and not standard legal cards anymore, which I appreciate. It does become a pain in the ass, but Magic is technically still a competitive game for most. I don't play it competitively whatsoever. I just love it. And when I'm playing a regular deck, so your 60 card deck versus playing my Commander deck, I'm getting maybe 20 to 45 minutes for a regular deck versus like anywhere from like an hour to 2 hours with a Commander deck. Because with your Commander, you're building up your energy, your synergy, and you really need to get a lot of cards out there to build up a proper defense or a proper attack mechanism. With Commander, you do have a Commander, and your Commander never ever goes into your deck. Ever. So this little guy, my Bellow, my lovely little trash panda here, he will always stay out. His mana cost is 3. It's 1 colorless, 1 red, 1 green. I can pull him out whenever I want, as long as I have the mana. And the whole deck, this whole deck is supposed to be synergized to your commander, where your commander is supposed to be synergized with the rest of your deck. They're supposed to aid one another. That being said, doesn't always work out. Like I talked about Tegwell for my Wilds of Eldraine, I feel he doesn't synergize, but that's just based on my lack of experience with playing him. I need to play him more. I just don't like his mechanic as much. Bellow is amazing. So let's say I have all my cards out. Bellow's out. I paid that. You destroy or remove Bellow. I have to now put a counter on him and double pay the mana to take him out again. So he doesn't go back in my hand. He doesn't go in my graveyard. He doesn't get exiled. He just goes back over here, and I can repay the mana to bring him back out. But it's going to double every time he dies. So say he was taken off of the battle map like 5 times. He's going to cost 5 times as much to take out. That's a real fucking pain in the ass. That being said, if it was someone else's commander taking my commander out, you also take commander damage. So not only does your life count go down because you've been attacked, you just took commander damage. And if you take 21 commander damage, even though you have 40 life in commander decks, you can die simply just from commander damage alone. So it adds a new dynamic to winning or losing the game as well. I kind of like that. It adds a new aspect. It is kind of a lot to take care of and think about, especially with the mechanics of how Bloomburrow works. There's a lot of counters, there's a lot of ads, there's a lot of tokens, there's a lot of mechanics in Bloomburrow. It's a lot to track. Some of the other decks are a little more simple, which I like, but I also like complex. So and that is kind of a basic breakdown of the difference between the commander, your regular, and your pre-release. I'm still very loving the commander, though. I do hate when my commander gets taken out and I have to pay double the fucking mana to take the little bugger out. But the fact that you can still take out your same card over and over and over again, it's always guaranteed because it's always going to synergize with the rest of your deck. So it's always worth taking out as long as you have the cards and the mana. And again, they take forever to play. I think one of my shortest games was an hour and a half. Oh, no, actually, no, that's a lie. I think one of my shortest games was about 20 minutes because I got mana locked and drowned hard. But that happens. You also get this, like, fun little counter. There are aftermarket counters, obviously. And you just switch it over, and yeah. A lot of people aren't familiar with the Commander series. It is a lot. There's a lot of cards. It's a big deck. Even for me to shuffle this deck of 100 cards with my tiny little hands, it's like a thing. Mana burn used to be a thing. Used to be. Some people still play with mana burn rules. I haven't encountered anyone who's really given 2 shits about a mana burn rule, thankfully. But mana burn used to be a thing, and it sucked. You'd take a hit for not having enough mana. I've also been mana flooded, which also sucks. So, this is my Bellow Commander deck. As you can see, tiny hands, 100 cards, big deck. So, for me, shuffling can be a thing. You gotta make sure you keep your commander out. Never shuffle it in. I'm already throwing cards, because tiny hands. What I was taught recently when it comes to like shuffling these is apparently the best way is you just kind of spread out this end. You fan here, and then you just kind of like want to shuffle them into the crevices, shake them up, and drop them in. I was told that this is so far the best way to shuffle your commander deck and other cards. It's less detrimental to the cards, and it does the best job of shuffling. And for anyone who wants to dispute this, I was told this by some of the competitive players that I was up against during pre-releases, and if I'm being honest, for me, my tiny hands, it's the easiest for me as well. To shuffle a normal deck of cards is already challenging, so 100 of them, if I just do this over and over again, takes nothing, there's no mess, no slipping, because I'm sure you guys know, these can be slippery little buggers. And yeah, super easy. Oh my god, it scared me again! Or playing for Auntie, yeah. I haven't really done that. It's been ages. I think that's like another thing from back in the day there, Crow. We're dating ourselves here. Oh, I gotta turn these around. OCD, for real. So I also like to store my cards a specific way. So you get these nice little card holders with your commander decks when you purchase them, when it's like a pre-con. I have my token cards on the side. I have my cards here. It stretches the box out a little bit. I'm really not too concerned about it. And then when I keep it on the shelf, I put my commander in front. I know what deck is mine. Because, like I said, I do have friends who keep their decks here. Because we play here a lot. So I have other decks here at my home that aren't mine. And this is just how I like to store and keep them. It's easy to just go onto the shelf, you see what you want, you grab it, we play. I don't always get to play Bello. I don't always get to play Tegwell, and I don't always get to play Mirko. That being said, I haven't played Mirko in forever. Yeah, that's basically for me, anyways, and like what I know to be. All right. Well, thanks for coming by, Lord. I'm probably gonna shit talk you on shit talking later, unless you're busy, because that's how we roll. And when I say that, we just shit talk all over my Discord. I do have a Discord. We do shit talk. We're just a bunch of belligerents, what have you. And that's kind of like, to me, and what my own personal knowledge is the difference between your pre-release and your regular decks versus your commander. And not a lot of people even knew that you take commander damage and you can die at 21, blah, blah, blah. Personally, I find it a lot more fun to do commander. Because, I mean, unless you're getting taken out right away, you get the opportunity to build an army. You get an opportunity to learn all your cards, your card mechanics. You can create combos, and you let the synergy of the deck actually be able to work. Because a lot of your regular decks, the 60 card decks, hit and miss. I mean, 60 cards seems like a lot, but after the fact, if you're playing with someone who just happened to have, like, I don't know, they just got a good run of cards, they shuffled properly, and they had the right mana, the right cards, and their fucking synergy is boom, 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 you're done so fast. Whereas Commander it's a long draw game, and I kind of like that. I like the challenge. I like learning. I like to be able to build it up, to break it down, sort of thing. But I'm kind of weird that way. And yeah, we'll talk more about the Magic cards, I'm sure, throughout the week, because I'll be here every Wednesday. But That's the gist of it and what I've been up to. I do want to do some more pre-releases, like I said. I am now getting asked if I will open another pack of cards. I'm considering it. Let's see. Well, you know, I just got another request to open another pack of cards, but it wasn't specified as to what pack. So, I already opened a D&D pack, and like I said earlier today, I have these Chaldeum cards. As you know, I love Vikings. I play a Viking sometimes, especially when I'm doing my sword swallowing for my gigs. I dress as a Viking or Shield Maiden or however you want to, or whatever. I do call myself Valkyrie. I've yet to see any of these Chaldeum cards. So I think that request requires me to open a pack of cards that I haven't seen that I want to see. Oh no, it opened. Whatever will I do? May as well have a little peek. Ooh, an art card. Oh, right off the hop. Oh, that is so cool. Sorry, I'll show you. I'm just... Oh, that's so cool. So cool. First time seeing any of these Chaldeum cards, and that's what I see. How could I already not love this pack? Oh, I think I'm already gonna love this series. That's so cool. Sorry. Oh. I also love that the symbol for this series, because like I said, I don't look into things. I'm just noticing now it's a war axe. So you can see the war axe on the side there. But look at that snow-covered swamp. It's absolutely stunning. It's just your basic land, but it's pretty. Ooh, glittering frost. Oh, stunning. Snow enchantment. There's a lot of snow so far. Enchant land. Enchanted land is snow. Whenever enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds an additional 1 mana of any color. So for 3 mana, that's not the worst card that you could get. And it is beautiful. Jaspera Sentinel. Creature, elf rogue. Has reach. Reach is really good for those of you who don't know what it is. If someone has a flying creature and you're a land creature cannot hit a flying creature without a reach. So this is lucrative. You can tap it to tap an untapped creature you control and add 1 mana of any color. Nice. For 1 mana, that is not bad for a 1/2. Duskwielder. Creature, elf berserker, boast. Now, here's where I come in and say I don't know what boast is, so I'm going to Google boast for MTG. Boast. It takes the essence of the failed mechanic inspired and untapped cost and simplifies them. Creatures get abilities after they only hold on. Let me click on it. Boast ability. Boast abilities can be activated during combat or even after combat. Anytime in turn after the creature was declared as an attacker, boast takes the essence of the failed mechanic inspired and the untap cost and simplifies them. Creatures get abilities after they've attacked, promoting proactive gameplay and allowing blocking as a counterplay. Unfortunately, the templating is a downside of only if it could attack hurt its popularity. Oh, okay. So, boast, can be activated during combat or after combat. Okay, so boast, which means that that's the thing. I can target opponent loses 1 life and I gain 1 life. Then in brackets it says activate this ability only if this creature attacked this turn and only once each turn. So I can only activate it for an extra mana once a turn, which is kind of cool. So it's my first time seeing boast as this way. That seems like a cool mechanic because you can then make someone lose a life while I gain a life during what, combat or after combat. Not bad. And again, 1 mana. It's a 1/2. And the art is amazing. So far, I'm already liking these Chaldeum cards, like, a lot. Masked Vandal. Ooh, that looks pretty. It's a shapeshifter creature. Changeling. This card is every creature type. I absolutely love my shapeshifter types. If you have a deck of cards, or, like, if you have your deck set as, let's say fairies, and you have a card with a mechanic that says all your fairies gain 1/1, you toss a shapeshifter in there and say it's a fairy, it gains 1/1. It's awesome because you can make it whatever it is to help the mechanics of your deck. I love that. When Masked Vandal enters the battlefield, you may exile a creature. Exile a creature card from your graveyard. Exiling, for those who don't know, if you have something in your graveyard that's dead, you do have cards that can sometimes pull things out from the graveyard. But if you exile it, there's no pulling it out. That's it. It's done for that game. So if you do exile it, target artifact or if you do exile target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. Okay, so when I enter the battlefield, not only is this any creature that I want it to be, I can then exile a creature from my graveyard, and when I do that, which means I can never get it back during that game, I can then exile one of someone else's artifacts or enchantments. That's handy. And it's only 2 mana. It's a 1/3. I mean, that's a pretty good card in my opinion. And look at that art. It's so cool. Demonic Gifts. Until end of turn, target creature gets +2/+0 and gains. When this creature dies, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. It's 2 mana, so that's, like, not the worst that you could have. I try to like to make sure you can see the artist name at the bottom of the cards as well, because the art's stunning, and every single one of these pieces of art on all of these cards are usually from different artists completely, which I love. It's perfect for the artist community as well. Koma's Faithful. Creature, elf cleric, has lifelink. Lifelink is so this card is a 3/1. If I attack you with it for 3, I get 3 life, because it's a lifelink. So I take 3 life from you and give 3 life to me. When Coma's Faithful dies, each player mills 3 cards. So when you mill a card, a player pulls the top card off their library and then they put it in their graveyard. Milling kind of sucks, and it says each player, which means I would also have to mill my own card because it doesn't say opponent. But I mean, the lifelink is pretty awesome, and the only time that you really have to mill your cards is when this card dies. So it's not the worst. I just hate milling cards unless I'm like super hard up for mana. Let's see. Super pretty though. Poison the Cup. Oh, I like that. Instant. Destroy target creature if this spell was foretold. And I scry 2. So when you scry 2, you just look at the first top 2 cards of your library and put them back, which is like your deck. We're getting like a lot of spammers here today. Let's see what we can do here. We're just gonna block these people because we don't need any BS around here. So many bots on here now. I mean, there's so many bots everywhere, let's be honest, but, you know. Anyways. Poison the Cup. Yeah, destroy. Scry 2. Foretell. So, Foretell costs 2. Colorless and a black. During your turn, you may pay 2. Colorless. And exile this card from your hand face down. Cast it on a later turn for its Foretell cost. Which was also 2. Doesn't seem like the best card, honestly, in my opinion, but it's still cool looking. It's not really something I would want to put in my deck, personally, but... Ooh, a World Tree! I love World Trees. World Tree, land, obviously. World Tree enters the battlefield tapped. Tap, and I can add a green mana. As long as you control 6 or more lands, lands you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color. And then for 2 white, 2 blue, 2 black, 2 red, and 2 green, I can sacrifice the World Tree and search my library for any number of God cards. Ooh, that means Caldeum has God cards. Okay, alright. And then put them onto the battlefield and then shuffle your library. So I could go through my deck and find all of my God cards and put them on if I have God cards. That being said, that's 2, 4, 6, 8 mana and 2 of each color, so a significant. I would want to go through every one of my cards if I had God cards and throw them on. That's immense. Wow. Alright. And it's absolutely stunning. For a land card? Yes, please. And now I know that Caldeum has God cards. I'm excited to see those. I'm so excited. I can't wait. What else we have? Ascendant Spirit. Snow creature, spirit. Ascendant Spirit becomes a spirit warrior with base power and toughness of 2/3. Oh, for that, that's for 2 mana. For 3 mana, if Ascendant Spirit is a warrior, put a flying counter on it and it becomes a Spirit Warrior Angel with base power and toughness 4/4. Or for 4 mana, if Ascendant Spirit is an angel, so I guess you can keep ramping this up then. You put 2 +1/+1 counters on it, and it gains whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So you pay 1 mana. It's a 1/1, but you can ramp the shit out of this thing. Wild. Now that's something that you really want in your deck if you can. I don't often play with too many blues in my decks, but this would be something that I would throw in there, 110%. Sculptor of Winter. It's very pretty. Snow creature, elf rogue. I can tap it to untap a target snowland. And it costs 2 mana and it's a 2/2. That's not terrible. Come on. Well, you can see it is pretty. Then we have Berserkir Shieldmate. Oh. Creature Human Warrior. When Berserkir Shieldmate dies, create a 1/1 white human warrior creature token. 2 mana, and it's a 2/1. That's not bad. It's also a foil card, which, you know how much I like my shinies. Super pretty. Ooh, aw, I got excited. I thought maybe I got a token card. No, I just got a Magic the Gathering Arena. Free to play. Standard draft. Sealed and more. Play anyone, anywhere, anytime. Yeah. Again, like I said, my biggest complaint is there's no difference between your noobs, intermediate, or pro players on that site. It does make it difficult if you're a first timer. It's very frustrating for a lot of people I know. Oh, I love... Okay, so Caldeum sold. I'm sold on it. First pack I ever opened, first cards I ever saw. Love it. I really want to build a deck with this. The idea that there's gods and stuff, obviously I didn't see one, but even this Ascendant Spirit, super cool. Because you can take it and turn it into a Spirit Warrior, then you can turn it into a Spirit Warrior Angel. I want to open more of these. So, if any of you guys have seen the Caldeum, A, keep it yourselves. But B, if they're really awesome, please let me know just that. It's exciting. I'm also going to toss these in the back and be an absolute heathen with, like, the disorganization of my cards currently. If I had more, like, things to put my cards in, obviously I'd be a little more organized right now, but I'm just trying to keep all my series separate. I did get a question about my sleeve holder. So, I'm not a brand whore or anything like that. I'm not sponsored. None of these were provided to me from companies. Everything that I have now is provided to me from myself, my friends, family, fans. No product placement whatsoever. But I gotta say, these Dragon Shield hardcovers are awesome. And I'm just gonna toss it out there why I personally think they're awesome. Here's my nerdy ways. So, the Dragon Shield, obviously, I'm just going to show this one. It's the pink diamond. They're not only pretty, they're super durable. This one is kind of like sparkly in a sense. This is that's what the diamond is sparkly. What I found fun about these Dragon Shields, personally, here comes my nerdiness now. If you look on the back, there's an actual story about the dragon that is presented on the front. And every single one of these, like, obviously this is Grand Archive, so it's not Dragon Shield, although it is Dragon Shield brand. It's not a dragon. But the actual dragons of Dragon Shield, which I do have plenty others, and I will eventually show you guys from the weeks next to come, they have their own stories. Every single one of these dragons has their own personal little story, which is one of the reasons why I keep the boxes outside of the fact that I can keep like a standard deck in here and just my extras. But yeah, it's got its own story. Each one of the dragons has their own story. It tells you who the artist is, who wrote the story, and personally, I just like it's a nice little touch. And some people like it comes with a little thing where you can write what your deck is, whose deck it is, whatever. I don't. I'm sure you can see I do color code and keep everything kind of together. This one in particular does have some of my extra token cards because I had a bit too much in this deck. Too much, you know what I mean. This one, I think I just have the extras. Yeah, extras and instructions. What is this one for even? Ah, this is all the information about Bello. I also like to keep these, don't like to toss them out. Some of you may or may not know I do have a bit of like memory lapse issues, so the more information I can keep to refresh myself if necessary, the better. I don't like to keep a lot of trash and stuff like that, so I try to keep everything very organized. But I mean, this tells you all about Bello himself, the synergy of his deck, how it's supposed to work. It tells you the rules of how commander decks work, and then on this side it just tells you the whole story about Bello, because obviously an artist went as far as creating this, and the story should be told, and I do appreciate that sort of stuff as well as how nerdy I fucking can be. It's just, yeah. And same with the pre-releases. I do have some of the pre-release handouts still as well for the same reason. It's good to kind of keep everything together. Anyways, that's me and my nerdiness with my Magic lately. Oh my god, I've been nerding out for 2 hours already. Also, thank you for letting me open up and helping me open up these, because I was really excited about this, but now that I saw this, I'm even more excited. I want to see the gods in Caldeum. I want to see them now. Now that I know they're there. Again, I'm not going to look them up online or anything like that, but the brainworm is there to know because of the card set. So. Sorry. Checking my messages. So yeah. We're in September. I'm back online. We're supposed to play D&D this coming Sunday. That depends on my players, obviously. I've had a few people ask me as to when this particular campaign is going to end. As some of you may or may not know about me and my writing style, I am very thorough with my stories. I love story writing. I am a writer and I'm a creator, so there's still a lot left to this campaign. That being said, with me creating my own maps and painting and stuff like that, I am not entirely sure. That's not set in stone, but I've been considering maybe doing D&D once every second week. It gives all of us a chance to refresh, blah, blah, blah. We can be a little more regular if we're doing it every second week. Some things will come up for people, obviously. That's life. Life happens. But I feel like we'd be more likely to all be available every 2 weeks instead of all of us always taking every Sunday off. Gives me a chance to kind of work on my scenery and stuff like that, since I do a lot of online stuff with our D&D, and I create all these maps online and in Photoshop and all that sort of stuff. If I'm able to, I would like to start doing more physical maps, even if it's online with friends. You know, you tell me where you want to move, I can move your characters, stuff like that. Just so that way it gives me something more to do, since I'm now, I don't know a nicer way of wording this for myself, but I'm becoming more and more unhealthy. I mean, granted, that's meant to happen with age and health, right? So I would like to spend a little more time creating and having fun and being more artistic than being more technical about things if I can. It gives me something to do. Then you guys get to be involved in some of the creations and the fun and sneak peeks, and it makes it more fun for me. So I'm hoping that that will be happening soon. I also want some guests to come in as NPCs, or maybe take over some other NPC characters that we have as little fun throwbacks to old people that were in our campaigns, or to allow some of the people who aren't currently in the campaign to play with it every once in a while, or play with us every once in a while. Things like that. I really want to like start building it up again and having more fun with it. I thought so, Fredster. And once I'm done editing our in-person game, Lord Almighty, I don't even know where to begin with that. Shit show is the best way to describe it. Everyone was, not everyone. There was a little bit of alcohol involved, a whole lot of shit talking, and a whole lot of swearing. So I'm trying to do my best to edit said video to be as acceptable as possible. I don't know how to word this. We're a bunch of weirdos. As unhinged, less unhinged. How's that? I want us to be less unhinged. That's a better idea. So it's kind of like my plans for the future, for coming back, being here, chatting with all of you. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I'm probably going to start doing my marathons again. Some of you may or may not be aware of that. Every so often I'll do a gaming marathon. It's usually about 12 hours of gaming steady. And it's to raise money for charities. Ordinarily, I do a lot for multiple sclerosis, because I personally have multiple sclerosis, as well as a bunch of other things. But I like to do as much as I can towards things that are less publicized about. I know MS is like, a lot of people are starting to get to know it more and stuff like that, but then there's like, how many people know about pancreatic cancer? And did they know that it has it has its own ribbon, stuff like that. So I want to start getting more and more into promoting and doing charitable events for things that need a little more public attention, without trying to sound like an absolute asshole. I really, really, really want to play some video games online again with you guys. As far as video games goes, or like just gaming in general, like outside of like tabletop games, I really haven't been doing too much. Baldur's Gate 3, I thought I was near the end. I literally thought I was near the end. I was like, hey, I'm right near Baldur's Gate. This is going to be the end of the game. I put it away for a bit because I really didn't want to beat it that fast, or I wasn't ready to beat it, I guess. I was like trying to draw it out as long as I could, and then I was like, oh, I'll just pick it back up. It shouldn't take me too long to finish it. Another over 100 hours into the game, and I have no insight. So I was definitely incorrect about that. I have over 700 hours into Baldur's Gate 3, and me being me and the treasure goblin that I am and the curious monster that I am. Right, so yeah, I'm in Act 3 now. But I have no end in sight. I keep talking to every creature, every animal, every tree, everything. I am an absolute gremlin of a human being when it comes to this game because the amount of things that you can look at, talk to, the availability is there. Unfortunately, I don't know how to say this. I currently don't have a druid in my team. So you're supposed to have a druid in your team. I'm aware of this. But I'm still on my first game run of, or my first like try of the game. So I'm on my first run still, and well, I got attacked by a bear at one point in time. I don't want to give too many spoilers away, but the bear that attacked me apparently was supposed to be the druid that I was supposed to have in my party. I don't have a druid. Which admittedly I have to say is a real pain in the ass because I recently came into an area where I could have used a druid that could have changed into a small creature and got me into a place, and instead it was a full shit show. I managed it somehow, but it I had to restart so many times just to get through it. For those of you who've not played Baldur's Gate 3, or those of you who want to start, if you run into what you suspect is a bear that might not be entirely a bear, you might want to try and talk to it instead of killing it, because you might need it later on in the game. See, and I picked a barbarian because I tend to play a lot of Diablo. So Diablo 3, I was a barbarian. I chose to be a barbarian. Diablo 4. I'm currently playing the newest season again as a barbarian. So every season I've been choosing a barbarian, and before you're like, oh, that's boring, I've been choosing a different build. So I'm choosing different skills every season I have. And I'm not one of those power build people. As I said previously, I don't look shit up online. I'm not that person. I like to go in blind. I like to learn it. I like to feel it, and I like to figure it out for myself. If I have a problem, I will then maybe look it up, but for the most part, I'm going to tough it out and figure it out for myself. So I have a super awesome barbarian build for the new season right now in Diablo 4, which is great. I have to say, being a barbarian in Baldur's Gate 3, you do find a barbarian to be a part of your party, and you probably don't want to play another barbarian because you're going to really stifle your party in a sense. But that was a my bad. I'm still running it. It is what it is. I can't help myself. But that's so I'm in Baldur's Gate 3, Act 3, and no end sight for me yet. I will eventually get to it, I think. Maybe we can like log in a little bit and I'll show you guys where I'm at. Don't judge me. The other game I've been playing, as you just heard, is Diablo 4. I was very excited about it. I played Diablo back in the 90s when it first came out. Yes, I'm aging myself, dating myself right there hard. Loved it. I've always kind of loved it. Hack and slash, a little bit of puzzle, challenge. The online, I really like now that I'm older. I get to just shit talk with some friends while I'm playing. We either play together or we just do our own shit and we're still talking. It's easy. I was kind of disappointed with how short Diablo 4 fell in regards of its story. The story was great. The images were awesome. The cinematics were fucking supreme. I just felt, even though I didn't power through the game, it still ended quickly for me. And maybe that's just me. I'm not really sure how other people feel about that, but I feel like it was a really short beginning story. I feel like they rushed that aspect of it. The seasons are fun. There's been one season so far that I absolutely hated. Never finished it. When they started changing, you had to like put different aspects that had different alignments on your weapons. It was a bit convoluted, and I just didn't like it. It was stupid. It was too much. It almost felt like Thaco for D&D, but for fucking Diablo. It was redonkulous. The new season's not bad. Again, I feel like the story was, it fell short. I'm, as you guys know, a storyteller. I like that. I like the RPG aspect a lot. So, the new seasons are great. They're short. And I absolutely hate that once the season's over, your character goes back into the eternal realm with the rest of them, and some of those dynamics and aspects that you get during the season are nuked. So there's really no point in keeping that character after the fact, in my opinion. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. I don't know. That's just how I play. I basically just use as a decompression method now. I just want to go. I want to hit a world boss once. I want to do some strongholds, and I want to do a couple dungeons. I just want to smash the ever-loving shit out of things as a barbarian, gain more levels, and that's just what I do at night. I was playing Stardew Valley for a while. Unfortunately, I am one of those ADHD people where I can get distracted easily, so the timing aspect and the fact that time matters in the game, if you don't remember to pause it, you're kind of fucking your game up. I appreciate it, but me getting distracted and being a mom, it's kind of difficult at times. That's basically it for like my video game playing. I've been trying really hard to find another game. Again, they're expensive. All games are so expensive now, and nothing really seems to pique my interest as much. Like, love stories so much. I love RPG. Final Fantasy has always been like my bomb diggity favorite. Final Fantasy 9 with Vivi, cutest, saddest story ever. Love that little guy. Just, I don't know what's really out there that's available that piques my interest that's worth the money. Because Diablo 4, as I'm sure you guys know, it's an expensive game. You don't get to physically own it. It's online, and the story fell short for me. Baldur's Gate 3, 110% worth the money. In every aspect. The playability's there in fucking tenfold. No matter what, you're going to get a different story. You do something different, you say something different. Different characters, different races, different sexes of characters. The gameplay is infinite on Baldur's Gate 3, which I fucking love. Yeah, same. Chef's kiss to games. They really, really did fucking good on that. Like, it's D&D through and through, and it's still Baldur's Gate to what you remember for those of you who used to play Baldur's Gate back in the day. Oh my god, I'm dating myself again. It has a little bit of everything, and even if you didn't know Baldur's Gate, even if you've never played D&D, it still has the playability for someone who loves an RPG, adventure, strategy, fighting, tactics. It's all part of the game. I love it. It is a long draw, though, and everything you do kind of matters. So it's like a choose-your-own-adventure sort of thing, and you really could shoot yourself in the foot depending on what you do. Like this asshole here, killing a druid that you need later on in the game. But that's the fun. I do love it. It's still playable. I've still gotten to Act 3 without the guy. It's just a little more challenging. Can't complain. My biggest complaint is I haven't found another game that really suits my fancy. I was playing Hearthstone again for a while. obviously Hearthstone and then me playing Magic, it doesn't coincide very well. The mechanics are very different. It's kind of the same at first glance if you don't know the difference between Magic and Hearthstone, but it's not the same. And if you're going to be playing Magic, I recommend you don't play Hearthstone first, because I had to stop playing Hearthstone for 3 weeks to go to the Bloomborough pre-release so I wouldn't fuck up my rules. So, yeah. Again, if you're able to multitask that way, get on you. What are some other games that I have here? I'm just opening up my Steam right now. I wanted to get back into World of Warcraft. Every time I think about it, I miss it. I played World of Warcraft through my pregnancy with both of my children. I breastfed both of my children while playing World of Warcraft. I know this is probably TMI, whatever. It just goes to show how much I played it and how long ago I played it. But after Miss Pandaria, to restart, to get back in and all these things is a bit much. I did pick up Valheim again. Now that I have my Steam open, Valheim. Amazing. RPG, survival, multiplayer, multifaceted. It's got some of the World of Warcraft is, yeah. And like I said, like pregnancy, breastfeeding. When I was in a guild, I was breastfeeding my kids while doing raids and stuff. Like, WoW is a very demanding game. But if you have the time, you have the energy, and you're into it, then it's brilliant because it's ongoing for forever. Valheim brought out Ashlands recently. We tried to get back into Valheim. As you guys know, we played a lot of it. Like, a lot. I don't know how I feel about it. It's so fucking challenging now. And it doesn't matter what level I'm at. Like, we're top whatever level. The only bosses so far that we haven't beat is the boss in the Mistlands, the Spider Woman. She's terrifying as fuck. Have not even tried to fight her. But we went ahead and tried to go into the Ashlands anyways. The waters are boiling. So if you don't have a right boat, your boat's destroyed. You get destroyed, you drown and die. Then you're fucked. And you can't get back there unless you have the right equipment and materials and blah, blah, blah. It's very unforgiving. Super unforgiving. The Ashlands is basically, I don't know how to word it other than a volcanic hell. The water's trying to kill you because it's boiling. The land's trying to kill you because there's volcanic shit everywhere. There is rainstorms of meteorites and fire shower. It's a super unforgettable land. We've barely touched the surface. I don't even think we've made it 5 to 10 minutes in beyond just getting to the land itself. Managed to make one portal. The one portal was destroyed. It's super hard. Yeah, Fredster, the Ashlands is it's hell on earth. It's hard. Or it's just hell in Valheim. It's good though. I personally don't like playing Valheim alone. I feel like it's better played as a multiplayer game, and I can't always guarantee that I can play with people, so I don't play it as much as I used to. Because life, people, blah, blah, blah. And I don't find it fun to play alone. I mean, other than that, I've been playing Magic the Gathering online. Baldur's Gate 3. I, for a while, was playing Final Fantasy Online. The subscription monthly wasn't worth it for me, especially since there's some aspects of the game where you actually need to have a party, and unless you know other people playing, it kind of stifles you because then you're stuck with a bunch of strangers who may or may not actually communicate with you, which makes it really hard to play. So I stopped playing Final Fantasy Online, even though I loved it. I got so excited about the Moogles. I got so excited about Cid, who I've always had a crush on since Final Fantasy III, or for some of you who know the Japanese version, Final Fantasy, I think, is 5 or 6. Great game, just it's forcing you to multiplay on there with strangers, and you kind of get stuck if you only want a solo game. Yeah, Fred, sir. Yeah, Valheim is better with friends. It sucks to admit that. I've heard that from a lot of people as well, that they love playing it, but you hit a point where it's just monotonous and like grindy. I've been like trying so hard to find other games though. Like I tried Lethal Company not too terribly long ago. Holy shit. Okay, fun, first of all, with friends. With friends. You play it online with other people, you're getting fucked. In my own personal experience. I also just find the game challenging with or without friends. It could have been that we were also drinking at the time of playing. Probably didn't help us. But it is a fun game. It kind of reminds me of Among Us in a sort of way, like the multiplayer. You're on a team, monsters, blah blah blah. So it's fun that way, but I don't know. I have what do I have downloaded here? Endless Legend. It's basically a type of Risk slash Age of Empires sort of game, which I love my Age of Empires, but it's one of those idle games for me where if I'm feeling sick, I like the turn-based, back and forth, easy, just strategy, tactics, stuff like that. But I really want like a good game. I want something else like Baldur's Gate 3 or Diablo 4 or a combination of both. Something that has a lot of playability. I'm also super picky. Alright, I'm gonna take a really quick washroom break. And then when I come back on, maybe I'll load up some Baldur's Gate and show you guys kind of where I'm at with that. Please don't judge me when I load it up, because I'm a mongrel and chaotic neutral, and I just didn't know what I was doing as my first gameplay through it. So yeah. Also, don't mean to give anyone any spoilers for those who played it and haven't gotten as far as me. So I'll be right back, and then I'll start up Baldur's Gate. I'm back. Let's see. Gonna load this up. I think the last time I played this was a couple weeks ago. Might have to pause the game. Or not pause the game. They're pause the music for the game. Cred. Oh. I really do love that I can play Baldur's Gate wirelessly with my PlayStation controller, and I know a lot of you are probably wondering where my accessible controller is. I have it right here. Unfortunately, playing Baldur's Gate with my accessible controller is really hard, like super hard. I do have to do like a lot of mousing and keyboarding alongside with my controller. I still play Valheim with my accessible controller though, but it's it also has to be wired in, and so here's like kind of my other big complaint about Diablo 4 is they spent so much time trying to make it super accessible and super awesome for all of these people, and I cannot play Diablo 4 wirelessly. I have to wire in with both of my controllers. No matter what, it will not accept, Diablo 4 will not accept a wireless controller option, which I hate. I absolutely hate that. I have accessibility issues, so for me, it's a big fucking deal. Baldur's Gate, because of all the mechanics and the controls and blah blah blah, it's harder for me to do a mouse keyboard controller action when I'm using my foot. But when I'm playing Valheim, super easy, super awesome. Again, I have to be wired in for Valheim, but it's not a complex game for controls, which is easier. But using my foot controller for Baldur's Gate is balls. Alright, let's see if I can show you guys my screen here. I should have had this all set up, but, you know, bear with me. Let's see. Pacific Window, Baldur's Gate, EOS. There we go. I'm just gonna throw myself over here. There we go. I didn't even realize the time. One of my children is finally done school. The high school one. I'm just gonna close my door a bit. Alright. So... And anyone wondering why I need an accessible controller, my left side is partially paralyzed. So a half of my left half is paralyzed. My middle finger over is paralyzed. So I have a lot of weakness on my index and thumb on my left side, which makes it really hard for like mousing or keyboarding because I can't feel when I'm touching keys. The same thing goes with the controller. I can't always guarantee that I'm going to be able to move when I push with my thumb. I'm not going to guarantee if I can hit any of these buttons or any of these buttons. Hit and miss. My accessible controller is set up for right hand usage and right foot usage. It makes my life easier. But again, some games, depending on just muscle memory and stuff like that, or the lack of use of certain buttons on a certain side, it really depends. I do love my accessible controller. It was very expensive also, but it does really, really help. Oh, fuck. Okay. Remember when I said I shouldn't have killed the, I shouldn't have killed the druid? Here's where I'm at. I shouldn't have killed the druid. I had to break into the foundry. It was really hard. I'm sure there was probably an easier way. I don't look shit up, figure it out as I go. There are ways to get in and out if you have a character that can shape shift into a smaller creature. I didn't have that, so I barbarianed through. As barbarians do. Oh god. Here we go. Also, don't judge me on my gremlin ways. I am a treasure goblin through and through, 110%. I will never deny that. I have a lot of shit. Whether I need it or not is irrelevant. You just never know. And I've pulled some crazy shit out of my bags before, and it's become really useful, oddly enough. Everyone's basically dead or dying. Now I kind of remember where I'm at. But do I have potions? I feel like I probably don't. Yeah, lots of scrolls, lots of trinkets. I do tend to throw a lot of these weapons, so if you're wondering why I have a shit ton of weapons just on standby. And there we go. I don't have a lot of magic slots left either, do I? No, that does not help. Okay. Nope. My. course I can't fast travel, so if I can't fast travel, it means I also can't have a short rest. Yeah. Great. Oh, lordy. Shocking I even surprised this or finished this battle. I'm sure there was an easier way of doing this. I probably just went to battle as being a fucking absolute troll. I'm terrified because I don't really remember what I'm supposed to be doing.
Neurosity awaits your input.
A neurositor awaits my input. Intelligence, I can attempt to decipher the symbols, or I can just press a button. Let's try and use some intelligence, shall we? I have a total bonus of -1. A little bit of guidance, maybe I can do it. Oh, I got some inspiration I can use. Let's give it a shot. Hey! Okay.
The Neurositor is the epicenter of the steel bot, controlling and connecting every single watcher in the city. Its technology is far beyond anything we've ever seen. We need more than magic or steel to destroy it.
You'll need something more than magic or steel to destroy it, and then still the option of press a button is there. You know I'm gonna push a button. Terrible idea.
Doesn't respond.
Okay, we're cool. Right, so there's a switchboard that I can't do anything with, and I push a button and nothing happens. Cool, 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 cool. And now what? I don't know. Cerebral fluid valve. Oh, shit biscuit. I wasn't expecting that. There's just a bunch of brains jumbling around that I can walk on. I can't really pick them up. Just gonna kick some brains around. Let's check out the other side, shall we? I'm an absolute menace in this game. I'm not even kidding you. I went in full barbarian style. That being said, I am dating Shadowheart, and we have made out, which is kind of fun and cute. I do love that I can do that sort of stuff in this game.
This head belonged to the automaton we encountered in Mordor. How did it come to be here?
It's a good question. But I can't extract it either. Alright. So clearly something's meant to be done with this, and I have no idea, because it's been forever since I've played.
Neurosity awaits your input.
Yeah, I know. But I've thoroughly enjoyed this game. Like, I've done no spoilers, no peeking, no nothing, and I've enjoyed every aspect of it up to date. It's been a little more challenging because I fucked myself over many times. But, I wouldn't go back and change it, really. Oh, I'm totally terrified what's to come. So... I apparently need to be back in here then. I somehow have to disable the steel watch. And I'm assuming it has something to do with this machine. Infernal iron doesn't really help me. There's gotta be something I have on my person. As you can tell, I've done a lot. Like, this is all my completed. That's all my completed. There's a lot. And this is all the shit that I have left to do yet. It's a busy game. Now, I'm gonna just do something that I was told to try out. I'm obviously not gonna save right now. But someone told me that this iron flask does something.
Cold and heavy in your hand.
It's cold and heavy in my hand. Remove the stopper or return it to my pack. Well, obviously, we're gonna check this out. I want to say test and check at the same time. Go me.
The flask shudders in your hand, then magical energy emanates from its neck as a creature emerges.
It's a fucking beholder? Oh. Wow. Oh, a specter. Basically a beholder. Oh, I do love the art, though. Good as eye. Well, that was... Why would I do that? Pretty much already dead. No! Okay. We can do this. Oh. He doesn't have that much life in him. Should be alright. Might have pissed it off a bit. Can I bite it? Ah, well, he has 4 healing. Shut up! You just got healed, bitch. What can he do? What can he do? And it was a miss, of course. Ooh, opportunity attack. Oh, thank God I missed.
Victory awaits.
I do like the fighter series in this. There we go. What? All of that, and it doesn't even drop anything. Well, now you know if you have that iron flask, it brings out a specter, and it doesn't really do anything for you. You're welcome. I just did the work for you. Now, the real question is this. What do I do with this thing?
Rossiter awaits your input.
Maybe Shadowheart can do something?
The Rossiter is the epicenter of the Steel Watch, controlling and connecting every single watcher in the city. Its technology is far beyond anything you've ever seen. You need more than magic or steel to destroy it. The machine doesn't respond.
Alright, so you get the same effect no matter who you use, apparently. So that means I'm missing something, like... There's something I need to make this thing stop in order to make all the rest stop. It's a whole strategy puzzle thing that I love / hate. It keeps me coming back for more. Well, they're showing areas that I can't reach. There's no Misty stepping beyond that. It's kind of like my cheat sometimes to know if you can get to a place or not, is I will try to like Misty step or jump. Because you just never know. It's really unfortunate that I just can't do whatever needs to be done here unless I can jump up. No. Nope. Okay. My current goal right now is supposed to be stopping the Steel Watch. Ah, balls. Yeah, the fact that I actually talked to you. My bad. Like I said, it's also been a while since I've played too, right? So I'm kind of lost. Crow, you probably did this so much different than me if you are in this position, so definitely, for sure, don't judge me, but also I wouldn't blame you if you did. I've done some pretty unhinged bullshit. Okay. Don't do what I did. Come on, everybody. been really confused being in this boundary. Great, and there's still shit on the floor. Ow. Lame. I mean, obviously I have to do something with that machine down at the bottom level, but what? I don't know. It's probably going to be a fight unless this person is still charmed.
I thought you were the cure, our salvation. I had hope. The overseers must have used a motivator. Bastards probably laughed as Collis activated, burning my friends, my family, from the inside out. All except me. God must have intervened, but why save me? Why is my life worth more than my daughter's?
Yeah, it's probably better not to ask those questions, buddy. Perhaps the god of invention is a plan for you. Oh, God. Don't get upset, get revenge. No, I don't think God saved you. Maybe malfunction. Oh. I'm just going to say I'm here to free him.
I don't need freedom. I want vengeance. The Steel Watch must be destroyed, and the Foundry with it.
Well, come help me, douche.
The Foundry was built to withstand the power of 100 wild magic sorcerers. In its depths, however, lies the Neurosita, the nerve center of the Steel Watch. Take me to it. I will disable the Steel Watch and end this perversion of Gundian ideas.
Excellent! I already killed everything down there. It's perfect.
Gond, light the path and grant us your wisdom.
I thought that was going to be harder to find some way to do this, but excellent. Wait, is he actually going to follow? He's going to follow. Cool. Cool. All right. Look at that. That was easy. Than I thought it was going to be. I already killed everything in here, so this should be relatively easy from this point forward. I gotta go down the stairs. Although I do keep seeing one little red blip on the map, but I don't think I could take anyone else down any more than I already have. Just ignore all these dead people and the acid. All these dead people. No, wait. Damn it! Oh, I went the wrong way. I gotta go down, not up. If you're hearing voices from outside, it's almost time for all the students to be getting off the bus from their first day of school today, so it's about to get kind of loud on my mic just based on outside sources. Is this the level with the Neurositer? No. Are we in the right place? Did I get lost again? toss everyone through the acid. No big deal. No, opposite direction. Damn. I keep getting lost in here also, so bear with me. Wait, didn't I have to go up? I don't know. Oh, right. That is true. Some are used to it. The notorious neighbor in which I speak is the one's voice that I'm hearing that's annoying me the most. She who shall not be named. So, if I'm down here... Okay, that looks like Neurosity is not the right one. Wait, can't I go down here somewhere? This better take me down and not up. No, damn it, now I just... split my party. Or not. I need to go one level further. This little man knows where he's going already. Come on, little man. Show me how we break this shit.
It is time. Let us end this.
Yeah, let us.
Curiosity awaits your input. The machine doesn't respond.
Okay. But I have this little guy with me and he's supposed to help me, so why didn't he help me?
The Neurosity. I can hear its hum. Familiar, yet painful. I helped design the steel watches, toiled night and day on the first bipedal prototype. It is fitting it ends this way. I will bring down not only the steel watch, but the very foundry itself. This place will be smoke and rubble when I am finished. Are you ready, my friend?
Sure. Yeah. What are you gonna do? Do it. Yeah, just do it. Yeah.
And let your hammer be my courage, your furnace my heart.
He's gonna fuck shit up. Yeah, run! Oopsie boopsie.
We're alive! Blessed God! And the foundry crumbles behind us. The sound is as sweet as a well-oiled clog. Yet we paid the price in blood. So few of us remain. Gon's name will soon fade into the annals of history. I must leave now, and gather those of us still standing. Look after this city, my friend. I pray it treats you better than it did us.
Me too, bud. Oh my god, wait. Oh, I'm inspired. Kill me. Oh, and some XP. And I disabled the seal watch. Go me. Does that mean I can go back to camp? I can go back to camp! Oh my god, I can heal and sleep. This is amazing. Your biggest friend, if you don't know this already about Baldur's Gate 3, F5. F5 for your quick save is your best friend. Just want to hit that little key right there. Boom. Saving. F5, best friend for VG3. So now that I did that, let's try and go to sleep, because a lot of times, as you know, both with D&D and in this game, if you played this game, shit happens when you're trying to sleep. Oh, sweet Myrtling, you've made Grey Harbor run red with blood of the innocent without even dipping your toes in the water. Did you hear the blast as you fumbled through the foundry? Thanks to you, the tyrant's iron throne lies broken beneath the bay, and the prisoners it held are nothing but blood and foam. And when the iron fell, so did steel. The watchers are no more. You sow the seeds of chaos well. How the sheep bleat to watch their gilded guardians crash to the cobbles. They tremble to see the lordling's temple of tyranny crumble atop their corpses. The time is now. Without his mindless mannequins, Gortash is weak. Kill him. Kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him. The rest of the page is filled with the same scrawled instruction, kill him. Written in increasingly illegible script. At the bottom, a signature in blood. Orin. Naturally. Do another little F5 quick save there. Because you can always go back, change things, fix things. It's the joy of quick saving. So, quick save successful. Let's go ahead. There's no one that has any... Oh, there's someone with an asterisk. Their a symbol above their brain. I need to talk to somebody. Ah! Volo.
It is splendid to see you again, my friend. If you hadn't saved me from that mob, I'd be penning a guide to the afterlife based on first-hand experience. Perhaps you would hazard a guess as to why the mob turned on me? Pish posh. That strutting tyrant has a long reach and a steel fist, but he's a puppy dog compared to the real horror that haunts our streets. The Lord of Murder has returned. As he did 100 years ago, Baal has set his accursed sights on Baldur's Gate. And his temple runs red with the blood of the innocent. Orin is his chosen. And like Shadowlock before her, she is able to take on the savage form of the Slayer. If the Slayer is not stopped, it will slaughter every living thing in this city. As one of those things, I'm particularly eager to stop it. And there is a way. I have a study of the beast, penned by the wizard Irenicus himself. It contains all the knowledge needed to slay the Slayer. Now I just need a brave adventurer, willing to face Baal's chosen, and to put the knowledge into practice.
I'll do it.
I can scarcely think of anyone more suitable. It will serve you well. A study of the Slayer, penned by John Irenicus. It's one of a kind, so do try to keep it away from the inevitable bloodbath. Quite so. I was rather hoping you'd gathered all the rest of the adventuring paraphernalia yourself. You'll need every advantage.
Oh shit. This is a daunting task. I should begin my preparations now.
I am a living witness to Baal's defeat those 100 years ago. So I know your battle against him is not futile. He can be stopped, but not all of those who stood against him survived. And those who did were never the same again. I wish you luck, my friend. And I hope that when I see you again, you'll be in one piece. 2 or 3 at most.
Uh-huh. Also, I'm just gonna note the fact that he just said he was a witness 100 years ago, and that guy does not look 100 years old. So, something's fishy with Volo. Just throwing it out there. Seems oddly suspicious that he was a witness 100 years ago. I'm also just gonna quick save there. Because chances are I'll want to go back and converse with him in other different ways to see what other information I can get, because I am that human. No one else wants to chat with me, so I will do a rest now. Yes. No one else still wanting to chat. I always get nervous when I go to bed because sometimes shit happens when you're going to sleep. Not this time, though. Woohoo! Oh, and another quick save now that I'm healed. So that means I have like 5 different points I can go back to and change, fix up, fuck around if I want. Not dead yet, thankfully. So I know that was like a quick shot run of my Baldur's Gate 3. That being said, it is almost 4 p.m. And, pardon me, and I do have to like do the dinner thing and what have you and whatnot. But it's I'm just gonna quit my game. Visions of Mana now available on Steam. I shouldn't have looked at that. I love Legends of Gaia, Mana of Gaia, all that sort of stuff. Anywho, got distracted. Squirrel. I'm going to log off now before my children arrive home and before the insanity outside ensues. I was going to stay around until 4:30. That being said, forgot bus timing and shit like that, and the loudness that is about to happen about here. I'd also like to eat something and blah, 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 but I gotta say, it was really, really fun catching up with you guys. It was really fun hanging out, and I will 100% be back here on Wednesday next week. Wednesdays, like I said, are my chemo days, so I have to avoid sun. I have to avoid eating after midnight. I totally turn into a gremlin, 110%. So my gremlin days are my Wednesdays, and sitting here nerding out with you guys, discussing Magic, opening cards, playing some video games, and all that sort of stuff is probably like the best way to spend my Wednesdays, honestly, and it's really made my whole day so much better, so thank you. And tomorrow I will be on a different site, same timing, and I will be back here again on Wednesday. I might be back on here Sunday, depending on if all my players can play D&D with us as well. Thank you, Fredster, and thank you, Crow, and thank you everyone else who stopped by, joined, tipped, and had fun, listened to me babble on about the nerdy shit that I love. And if I don't see you Sunday for D&D, I will for sure see you next Wednesday. And I'm really looking forward to it. As you can tell from my face, it hurts from smiling. I'm very happy. So thank you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.